So this is a common female tactic, right? And what ends up happening a lot of the times, right? When women hit the wall, one of two things is going to happen, right? So first, let's discuss the wall. Okay, what is the wall? We're going to go do a quick little red pill refresher for you. The wall, guys, is a moment in a woman's life when she starts to realize that her sexual marketplace is perishable, right? The same type of attention she used to get, the same access that she used to get, starts to drop off a little bit, okay? All of a sudden, now it's a little bit harder to get rich guys to fly you out. Now, all of a sudden, you're getting a little bit more tired when you go to the club. Now, all of a sudden, you kind of want to get into something more serious, right? All of a sudden, you kind of start to get baby rabies. And these are obviously very natural biological responses for women as they age. If they don't have kids, that they're going to, as they get closer and closer to the 30s, it's a self-defense mechanism. Like, hey, you're about to be 30, you're 80% of your eggs are about to be gone. Like, come on, make a move, right? So some of this is like human programming to, help women defend against them not being able to have a lineage. Because at the end of the day, guys, we all know that we're put on earth to have children, right? To spread our seed and, have little mini-me's. So with women, they come to this realization a little bit later in life, right? Earlier in life. And not only do they come to this realization earlier in life, they come to it through their outside environment, right? Now, one of two things happens. Either A, they wake up and say, damn, I can't do this forever and I need to find a guy. Or B, they double down, accept reality, and then continue to be a 304 well into their 30s, 40s, 50s, right? Now, very few women are able to do the latter, right? Very few. Most women end up having to kind of change their situation and try to find a guy, right? But here's the problem. They gained a bunch of experience a lot of the times with higher status men, and they've developed a type, okay? Now, this is important because when women develop a type, what ends up happening is it's very difficult for them to deviate from that type, okay? If you look at a girl, most women, right? And I were to show you their last 5 boyfriends, all of them are going to be very similar, okay? They're all going to be very similar if you look at a girl's 5 past boyfriends. Men, on the other hand, though we might have a type, that doesn't mean that we won't deviate from our type. Women typically are far more rigid in what they like, okay? Now, the problem is when girls have a type, these types tend to be men that have high sexual market value, but very bad parental investment or parental value. Does that make sense? Because most men, if given the opportunity to have multiple women, typically don't settle down. And they don't make good parental fathers. Their sexual market value is high because they're able to establish these bad boy tendencies and shit like that, but they might not be necessarily the best person to have a relationship with. And this is the conundrum that a lot of women end up in, where they've dealt with a certain caliber man, a certain type of guy. That's what they're attracted and aroused by. But then they realize that this guy might not be conducive to a longer term relationship. Okay, the smart ones at least figure that one out. The idiots just keep banging their head against the thinking like they're going to turn one of these guys into a Prince Charming. And then they kind of enter a fork in the road where it's like, okay, I'm ready to change. I no longer want to be on the carousel. But the guys that are good guys are boring. And the reason why she knows that the good guys are boring is because she's been with the bad boys. And the reason why I tell you guys to get with women that have lower body counts, preferably a virgin if you can, right, is because the less bodies a woman has, the less likely she is to develop bad habits. Does that make sense, chat? I want you guys to really understand this. This is very important. I'm not telling you guys to get with girls that are low body counts and virgins because I want you guys to be on some weirdo shit. No. It's because she has a smaller body of work to compare you to other men with, man. That is the key. Okay? This is why women that have low body counts are so important to have. Right? The lower the body count, the lower her body of work. The lower her body of work, the more she'll appreciate you. Does that make sense, chat? This is why it's so imperative. Because the more partners a woman has, the more likely she is to get a type, the more likely she is to want to be with that type, and then the more likely she is to compare you to that type if she does decide to take a chance on you and you're not her typical avatar. I need you guys to understand this. If there's one thing you guys learn from this stream, right? I want you to take this with you guys. Women always, 99% of the time, almost always, think the grass is greener on the other side. I'm going to say that again. This is life-saving advice for some of you niggas. I'm dead ass. I'm serious. This is some life-saving advice. Understand this. If you could take one thing from this stream, besides Iran war and Brittany Renner being a 304 and riots also, women always think the grass is greener on the other side. This is precisely why it's easier for them to break up with you. This is precisely why they get over relationships faster. This is precisely why they initiate most of their breakups. This is precisely why they behave the way that they do and they don't respect male authority and they feel as though no one can touch them. Once you figure out that they always think that the grass is greener on the other side, guys, you'll figure out how to move. And this is why it's so imperative to get with women that have low body counts. That is why. Their body of work is small, therefore, they're going to appreciate more things from you. Okay? The more partners a woman has, the more chances she has to compare you to some other better than you. And then, keep in mind, guys, this is the natural mind state of women. The grass is greener on the other side. You guys want to know what social media does to that? You guys want to know what the internet does to that? You guys want to know what dating apps does to that? You know what it does to that? It makes it 10 times worse. Women already had this mindset that the grass is greener on the other side. But then if you add, think of this grass is greener on the other side. Think of it as like a fire. Okay? It's a fire. The female fire. Women always think they could do better. Grass greener on the other side. Cool. That's the natural state of things. That's naturally hypergamy. Now, let's add in Instagram, kerosene. Now, let's add in dating apps. More oil. Now let's add in clubs. Burning logs. So that little fire that you had, now it's exploded. Now it's a real dumpster fire. The whole block is on fire now. So social media has exacerbated all the bad traits of modern day females. This grass is greener on the other side. Now they actually believe it. Because they open up their phone and they see all these dudes hitting them up. I'm good. Why do you guys think so many women flake on dates? Why do you guys think so many women don't respect men? Why do you think so many women are insufferable? It's because their egos are propped up from social media. So they always think that they can do better. And someone like Brittany Renner, to bring this back full circle for you guys, she was one of those women. Luckily for her, she woke up a little bit too late though. Because the reality is, like I said before, women can't be hosts forever. They really can't. They really can't. So this is the battle that women have with themselves when it comes to trying to strike a balance between finding a guy that's their type, that's attractive, while simultaneously also trying to get that security. She thought she could get that with Kevin Gates, but it didn't work. Because, like I told you guys before, Brittany Renner is cooked. You want to know why? She's dated millionaires, athletes, celebrities. Nobody qualifies for her anymore. So since no one qualifies for her anymore, she's still going to date these top tier guys. But these top tier guys are going to have other bitches. So she's always going to be like a side chick to a degree. And this is the curse of dealing with higher status men. It's a curse. I'll be honest with y'all, bro. It's a curse for women.